go out there and get the mentors, right? The coaches. Pay for them. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money up front, but I promise you that if you find the right person or the right group, it's going to exponentially grow your ability to be successful out there in the entrepreneurial world. Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And today I want to talk about the potential of you leaving the W-2 world here in 2023 or else coming up in the near future. Can you imagine not having to report to your daytime job every day and having the ability to create the life that you desire, right? That's what I've been working on, and that's what I've been able to do. I left the W-2 world. My last job was with Coca-Cola back in 2018. So I guess we're going on 5 years now that I've been self-employed or an entrepreneur. And I want to help with I've got 9 ideas that I wanted to share with you today, that things that I did that has helped me succeed as far as being able to leave the W-2 world and not have to go back to get a job to help support my family. So here are the 9 things, and hopefully you'll find value in these, and hopefully these will help you if you're looking to leave the W-2 world here in 2023 or in the near future. And the first step that I did was I determined exactly what my living expenses were at that time. So when I decided I was going to leave the job or wanted to leave the W-2 world, I needed to know almost to the very penny, at least down to the round $1, what my exact expenses were. And that way I knew what I was going to need to generate with the business that I was going to create and start working on outside of my W-2 world. Without that number, you're not going to experience as much positive as you could probably imagine, right? I mean, the idea is that you need to definitely know where you're headed and where you are before you can make those decisions moving forward. So definitely get an exact amount of your living expenses. Second, I started, and I would recommend that you start a side hustle to prove the market, right? So there's so many different things you can do these days to start a business. You can start an online business. You can start a brick and mortar business, which I'm not saying one's good or one's bad, but the idea and the thing that I had to learn on my own, and you may or may not know this, is that find the market first. Don't just build something and think that because you build it, they will come, right? Don't think that you're going to write a book and think that you're going to have people flocking to it. So start with the market first. Find out what the need is and start with a side hustle, right? So what I did was that keeping my job, I started to work evenings, I started to work weekends on side hustles to prove out the market, to prove that there was going to be a demand before I took that leap into the world of entrepreneurship. And I would recommend that you do the same. So make sure, and step number 3 here, moving on, make sure that when even with this side hustle, that you're operating this side hustle, this business, because that's what it is, as a business. Make sure you're operating it as a business. And the reason being is because as soon as you step into operating a business, you unlock different tax benefits that you cannot get when you're in a W-2 world, right? When you're an employee for another person's business, you miss out on some tax advantages that you instantly unlock the day you decide that you're going to go into business for yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you need to go set up an LLC. That doesn't mean you need to go set up and get an office somewhere. It's just the act of keeping your personal life and your business life separate. So having different separate cards, right? You can still have them both in your personal name, but having one card, and when I say card, I mean credit card, that you're going to operate your side hustle through, and then maybe it's a debit card or another credit card that you're just going to be running your personal life through. Keeping those things separate. Now, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. Make sure you speak to qualified folks to get specific things. There's plenty of information out there on the internet. I just want to, at this point on this episode, just want to give you some ideas that by starting this side hustle, you're going to unlock many tax benefits that being a W-2 employee, you're definitely not going to have. So one thing, the next step going into number 4 is eliminate any and all unnecessary expenses. So a few of the things that I did before I left the W-2 world. So I focused on eliminating the high interest debt that I had acquired up till that point. I also eliminated some car payments. I own my cars. I don't lease them. I don't have payments on them. So anything that was going to cost me a lot of money per month, I tried to get that eliminated down as far as I possibly could. So that could be eliminating different subscription services, just being as lean as you possibly can as you're starting to venture out into this world of entrepreneurship helped me make that leap, knowing that as I was able to build that business, that I could tack back on different subscriptions or different things that we were doing in our normal life up till that point. But definitely get as lean as you possibly can going into possibly leaving your W-2 job. The next thing was that I hired a coach, and a coach with a track record. I wanted to make note of that as well. Make sure that this person or group, right? You can join a group. Group coaching is fine as well. But make sure this person or group that you're hiring has a track record, meaning that they have done what that you intend to do, right? They're not just selling you on some kind of a big idea that they have no proof that they've ever done it or that they don't have any success in their back pocket. Make sure that you're finding folks that are have done what they proclaim and they have the records to prove it, right? But go out there and get the mentors, right? The coaches. Pay for them. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money up front, but I promise you that if you find the right person or the right group, it's going to exponentially grow your ability to be successful out there in the entrepreneurial world. So the next thing, moving into making sure that your partner is supportive of you. So one thing that I made sure that I did was before I even started down this journey is I made sure that my wife was going to be on board and supportive of what my vision was, right? I had a dream of leaving my job. I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to be or what that was going to look like, but I needed to make sure that she was going to be supportive of me. And I would recommend that you do the same. Find out, have those tough conversations, realizing that yes, things are going to get a little leaner than what they had been in the past, right? There's a potential to lose money, right? Business isn't all perfect every single day, right? You're going to have to take some risks. You're going to push yourself. You're going to challenge yourself in different ways. Just make sure that your spouse or your partner is on board with you making these changes, because if not, I've seen it in the past, you're going to struggle in terms of making decisions, keep moving forward when things get tough. But if you have that support system in the background, you'll definitely be able to push through a lot better. Next, make mistakes and pivot as needed. So one of my favorite words is pivot. In my experience, this journey that we're on is nothing more than a series of pivots, right? To think that we're all moving down this straight line, that everything's going to be the same today as it was yesterday, to me, that's a false idea. So we're always pivoting. We've got to be able to be willing to make mistakes. I know that as we were brought up, we were told that mistakes were bad, right? That was how we were brought up in the school system, that to get good grades or to be considered successful in that environment, you had to be perfect, right? And perfect was 100%, or perfect was straight A's, or whatever the expectation was onto you. But we were taught early in life that mistakes were bad. But I will tell you that if you decide to get out into this entrepreneurial world and into this business world, mistakes are going to be crucial. It's nothing more than feedback. You need feedback to be able to take those experiences then and pivot, right? So we're going to take the mistakes that we make. We want to make sure that we don't make catastrophic mistakes, right? You don't want to completely bankrupt your family or your business, but at the same time, you are going to make mistakes and be okay with that, and then just pivot as necessary. It's simply feedback to help you move forward as you keep going. So the next one is lean into uncertainty and the fear. Okay, so as you're getting out into this entrepreneurial world, as you leave the W-2 world, you're going to be responsible for all facets of your business, right? From your day-to-day activities to the sales generation of your product or service, to the marketing of your product or service, to the, you name it, to the giving it or getting it into the customer's hands. Fulfillment, that's the word I was trying to think of, fulfillment to the customer. You're responsible, and you will be responsible for all of those ideas and facets as you get into starting this side business or the side hustle. That's the best part about doing it as a kind of a side hustle at the beginning, is you start to realize and see what it's going to take actually to operate that business. With the security of having your W-2 job on the side, kind of a little bit of a security to make sure that you don't fall off too far. But my suggestion to you is to lean into the uncertainty and to the fear. You've got to know that it's just part of the game, right? None of us know day to day, week to week, month to month, where the next sales are going to come from. And you've got to be able to live with that, lean into it, experience the fear, and then keep moving. Which takes me to the very last one, is to take action anyway. That's the last piece of information I want to leave with you today, is as you're experiencing the uncertainty and the fear, you need to just take action anyway. It's like a muscle, right? You're going to, as you keep going down this path and you keep experiencing these uncertainties, right? This fear, this doubts that you might be experiencing from the outside world, right? Whether it's family, whether it's friends, take action anyway. Make sure that your vision, your dream, is bigger than any of that negative influence that could be coming into your life. And if you keep that vision and then that dream big enough, that why, right? We talk about that a lot on the podcast, is having a clear and specific why. If you keep that in the forefront of your mind, you'll be able to keep taking action in a way, and you'll rocket ship to the destination that you truly desire. So hopefully you found those tips valuable. That was, I just sat down and I was thinking through what were the steps or what were the things that I felt that were the most important in terms of when I was making the decision to leave the W-2 world. I wanted to jot down some ideas, and hopefully you found those valuable, and those will be able to be implemented into your life. And you'll be able to then, if you desire, potentially leave the W-2 world and experience life of freedom, personal freedom, just a life that you can never imagine possibly today. It's a great thing. I encourage you to do it. You won't be disappointed taking back control of your money and your mind. It can be such a wonderful event. It's challenging. Not going to say it's easy, but it can definitely be something that I would encourage you to do. At least start on a small scale. See what it's like. See if you like it. And if you do, just keep moving forward. Hopefully these steps that I shared with you can help you in that journey. So go out there, have a fantastic day. I look forward to creating more content for you like this in the future. And until the next episode, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Roden shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.